guys, welcome to episode number 2 of the rebuild of the Sym Jolie or DD50 scooter. Got a few updates since last week, nothing massive, probably not making as much progress as I would have liked to have by now, but nonetheless I'll show you where we got up to. So first thing, during the week just drained out the gear oil and replaced that. So for anyone wanting to do that basically on these is really simple. Couple of, I think there were 12mm bolts from memory. Down here, got one, the lowest one. There's your drain plug. So undo that and undo this one here, which is the filler bolt. And basically let it all drain out and then pour the new stuff, put your bolt back in, pour the new stuff in through that hole. This container here is the oil I used, 80W90 Penrite. The actual filler nozzle on this is too fat to fit in that hole. So what I did was grabbed a no more gaps Sellies or silicon tip and cut it down so it's a bit thinner so I could actually get it in that hole as well. So might be helpful for some of you who are trying to fill yours up. Then you'll notice, you may have noticed there's no shocker on there at the moment, or the spring. Reason being is I just removed that to clean it. So had some 2-stroke oil on it, which was basically just making it look a bit dirty with a bit of dirt on it. So there's the shocker out. So today we'll put that one back in. It's just 2 bolts. I think there are 12 and 14 or 13mm bolts, top and bottom, smaller one on the bottom. So get that put back in, and you'll notice here got a shiny looking exhaust pipe. So that's the original exhaust pipe, which basically just had was black before and had some rust showing through. So just used a wire wheel on the drill and stripped it all back, ready to put a coat of high heat paint on it too. So which is this one here that I'm using. Again, not ideal weather here to be doing it. We've got blue skies, but we're about 13 degrees or something here in Adelaide today, so I have to use my heat gun to heat it all up and get it underway. So see if we can get that done. If we can get the exhaust back on today, then we'll be able to actually try and start it up and see how we go. You might notice a set of wheels sitting here as well. So I couldn't help myself to sell these for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Some 20 by 8.5 Commodore wheels that were a good price. So before I knew I was agreeing to buy them, and probably just end up looking to sell these off because I've actually got some other wheels for the ute sitting in here, which is these Pentagons and another set of Super Sports in that stack there as well. So realistically, probably looking to sell those. So if you know anyone who wants a set, make them reasonable price, but main aim for me is to make a little bit of profit on it as well. So anyway, get stuck into it. So just got this one drying now as best we can. You're meant to bake that paint in an oven at 200 degrees for an hour. Needless to say, my wife's not that keen on me having it in the oven inside, so the best setup I could sort of come up with is I've just got the heat gun on it down here, and it's warming up pretty well, so hopefully that's enough for it to set properly. Whilst that's been drying there, I'm going to leave that for an hour or so. Just went and got some new 98 octane fuel and just filled that up, overfilled it, hence the puddle on the ground. And then while we're waiting for the exhaust to dry, it's got the tail section here of the scooter. Hopefully I can hear me over the heat noise. And I'm just going to trim it up, cut it down. See, it's got a crack in it, just where my thumb is there. So I'm going to try and cut it so it's a bit lower, and actually neaten up the rear end, but I want to hang on to it in there because it's got the battery box and a few bits that tidy up some cables and stuff. You can see how faded it is on there. For those of you that have seen the videos about heating up plastic to bring it back to colour, I wouldn't recommend it. That's what I tried on this, and you can see it looked good for a little while, but then after it sat for some time, you can see all the melt marks in it and it looks awful. So I'll cut this up in a second. I'll just do it with an angle grinder and then just might lightly sand the edges of it, see if we can make it look a bit neater. All right, so just to catch you up on the last couple of hours, so we've got that shocker installed with the spring, so that's all done. We finished cutting up that rear section where the number plate was and tidying that up, and the exhaust we finished baking as best we could with the heat gun. It's not perfect. I'll just point this out because I'm happy to share my flaws as well. You can see here I cut off the 2 mounts and grinded it back, but didn't smooth it out enough to be perfect. That was just the mounts for the heat shield that runs over the top, but I think it looks neater without the heat shield anyway, so happy with that. Just chuck the seat on for a second. So we topped her up with the 98 fuel, and I suppose probably the most important things you guys want to know is, did it start? So I reckon it took about 10 kicks and she was going, so I'll just chuck it up on the centre stand and turn the key on. Yeah, this might be hard to do, so just bear with me with one hand because I have to hold the brake pedal at the same time, but there we have it. Still running. So I'd say that's a win for this week. We tidied up a few bits and pieces, got it running. It's got all fresh fluids and filters and whatnot on it. Then she tried to tune. I'm not good at tuning these things, but so happy for anyone to share any comments they got about tuning. But I took it for a spin down the street and it seems to be pretty responsive. They've blown a little bit of smoke, so hopefully that's just some carbon build-up still in the exhaust and stuff. But and it's a 2-stroke exhaust, so it's always going to blow a bit of smoke. So I'd say that's probably a wrap for this one. So I'll just flick it off, and I thought, just to close out this one, I thought I'll just share with you all the things that gave me the shit on it this week. So like any project, nothing ever quite goes 100% to plan, but the things that gave me the shits were when I was moving it around when I didn't have the shock absorber in it. I accidentally knocked the hose off of the 2-stroke oil canister and it poured oil all over everything, including the garage floor. So that was number one that gave me the shits. Number two is cutting plastic. All the hot metal, or sorry, all the hot plastic that sprayed up on me and stuck all over me. That's never fun. And number three, third thing that gave me the shits was just after I painted the exhaust, I went to use my trusty heat gun that I've had for years, and it decided it was only going to blow lukewarm air. So where do we go? Bunnings, and got a new one. But anyway, I'd say for a couple of hours work on a Sunday afternoon, I'm happy with the progress. So next week might be time to start on the actual body work of it, I reckon. So feel free, like, share, subscribe, get on board. Love to see your feedback, comments. If there's any experts here in South Australia, I'd love to get your thoughts on how to tune it a bit better and get it running perfect too. Thanks. See you guys.